Hey everyone, Jack Lawson here with digitalrealestateacademy.com, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about sequences inside of ManyChat. So follow-up sequences and building sequences through ManyChat, the chatbot building software, and how that can help you with your real estate business, automating your follow-up and making your life a little bit easier as a real estate professional. So inside of ManyChat, you'll have sequences underneath automation here. So if you click on automation and sequences, we already have some sequences built out inside of our template. But what these are, like I mentioned, are follow-up messages that you can use to follow up with people who come into your chatbot. So the idea is that someone comes into your Messenger chatbot either through a link, through a chat box on your website, an email, a QR code, or a Facebook ad. So they click on that Facebook ad, they become a subscriber, they go through some type of chatbot flow that you've already created. But what do you do after that point, and how do you follow up with them? Well, that's what sequences are for. So here's some examples that we have. We have the buyer qualification follow-up sequence. So this has been built out. All we do is add a message and then build a little chatbot flow for each one. So we can work with the schedule in terms of how, when they get followed up with, and what type of message is sent. Real quick, I will show you, let me backtrack for a second and show you where they get subscribed to these sequences. So for example, we're going through the home buyer flow. So let's say they they click on a home buyer ad and they open up that home buyer ad. We have a little action here in between the flow that as soon as they get the first message, they're going to get the second message automatically. In between that, they get automatically subscribed to the buyer qualification follow-up sequences using this action here. So you just add an action, click on subscribe to a sequence, and then click on the sequence that you have created. We also have a different sequence that they get followed up with after we capture their email, which is the email and text follow-up. So we capture the email and then ask for the text. We subscribe them to the email and text follow-up right after they provide their email. All right, so that's how they get subscribed to these sequences. And again, in the sequences, we have the follow-up happening. So we created this message. You can create any type of message that you want. You can create it super complex, super simple, whatever. So the first one, hey, first name. Hey, Jack, did an agent contact you about your interest in buying and purchasing a home? Select an option below. Yes, they did. No, or I'm not ready to buy, blah, blah, blah. And then we have a little conversation. All right, did you do this? Do you want to do this? Do you want to call us? Do you want to get more information? That's built into whatever flow is connected to this this sequence. So that is going to be sent 1 hour after they're subscribed between 8 a.m. and is that 8 p.m.? 8 p.m. 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And so that's when they will receive that message. And then after that, they're going to get 12 hours later, they're going to get another message between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. So one thing to keep in mind here is that there is a 24-hour rule in terms of following up inside of Messenger through sequences, through automated sequences. So if they will only receive these last messages if they interact with the chatbot. So if they get this first message and they click on something, whether they do or they don't, they're going to receive this next message. But you'll see here their last interaction is less than 1 day ago, then they will receive this message. That's just a Facebook rule regulation. You'll get banned. Well, ManyChat won't allow you to do it, but it's better to have the conditions in there anyway so that you don't have any issues with Facebook. But keep in mind that messages won't get sent outside of 24 hours. And these all have conditions to make sure that the person has interacted within the last 24 hours in there. Basically, we have these messages that go in a sequence, and they'll receive them if they interact with the chatbot. And you can go on for forever with these messenger messages, but there is a couple things to keep in mind. Again, one is the 24-hour rule, but the next one is that even if they are interacting with you, you don't want to keep sending them a message, because they might be saying something like, I don't like you, please don't talk to me. And they can type the word stop and unsubscribe, but if they don't type that specific keyword, then it might not happen. Anyways, just be aware that you don't want to have a sequence of like 1,000 messages inside of Messenger. That just isn't effective. What we do have is sponsored broadcasting, which I'm not going to cover in this video, that you can use to follow up inside of messaging inside of Messenger. That's a little bit less invasive than, a daily follow-up. And that's something that you'd use like twice a month, broadcasting to your database inside of Messenger. So with the 24-hour rule, there is still ways to communicate with your database in there. The next thing is going to be like the email follow-up. And that is, I'm not going to go through all of our sequences that are already built, but basically these are emails that if you capture their email, then, email's a little bit less invasive than Messenger. So you can send an email a lot more often. Our sequence specifically is, every 11 days we send email, text, email, text. So again, these schedules, you can edit the schedule when you want to send these messages, and create whatever message, however often you want. And actually, let me just show you real quick if you're creating a new sequence as opposed to just showing you what we already have. Name your sequence, click this button. After however often you're going to send this message, 1 day, minute, hour, immediately, between any time, save an update, and then you got a schedule right there. You're going to create a new reply, or you're going to select an existing one that you already have. Create a new reply, boom, write this message, content type. I'm not going to go through building a flow, but that's the message right there. And now you have your first message being sent by the test sequence. Now you just go to your next one. Create a new reply, make a new message. Maybe you want to do an email for this one, so we're going to do, that's SMS. Add email, and then we're going to do starting step 2, email, delete Messenger, and now we're going to edit the email and publish it. And now this person is going to get an email next. So this is going to be a Messenger message, email, and then maybe you want to do a text, and so on and so forth. So we can, again, you can schedule whenever you want to send it and make this as long as you want, keeping in mind the rules that go along with it. That's kind of an overview of sequences. Automate your follow-up. We have a pro template in our Digital Real Estate Academy that you can find out more about at digitalrealestateacademy.com, and plug it right in, or build out your own sequences and do all the work yourself if you want. But if you guys have any specific questions about sequences, drop them in the comments below. Otherwise, if this video helped you out, like it, subscribe to our channel. Links in the description for any relevant thing with Academy, digitalrealestateacademy.com. Thanks again for joining, and I'll see you guys in the next video.